Okay, today's lesson is going to be on chapter 5, measurements, and we're going to be looking at metric mass, exercise 2, basic skills, page 75. So chapter 5, measurements, we're going to be looking at exercise 2 over here, and that's from the mathematics, the basic skills. Done by myself, Mr. Imran from one-to-one-tutor.co.uk, the home of mathematics. Okay, today's going to be a lesson looking at changing kilograms to grams. First of all, let's write down our identity. Now, the identity here is the statement, a fact that we're going to use to work out the questions in this section. Now, this is exercise 2. If you most likely you've done the lesson from exercise 1, okay, which was changing grams to kilograms, and you'd be familiar with the identity. So in every kilogram you have how many grams? How many grams you have? 1,000. So in 1 kilogram you have 1,000 grams. Okay, and as we've done before, let's have a look how we change between these two units. So now every kilogram has 1,000 grams, so 2 kilograms will have 2,000, 3 kilograms 3,000, and so on and so on. So every time we go from kilograms to grams, we have to multiply by 1,000. Here's the number there. To multiply by 1,000. Now, if you go backwards, just for completeness, if you go from grams to kilograms, every 1,000 grams is 1 kilogram, so 2,000 will be 2 kilograms. So we have to then divide it by, divided by 1,000. Okay. Today we're going to be looking at how to change kilograms into grams using the above one. So at the moment we're going to be following that method there. Now, as mentioned before, whenever you multiply by 1,000, we have to find the decimal point, and we have to move 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right. Okay. Now, what happens if you don't have the decimal point in the question? Then we have to put it in, and the decimal point always goes at the end of a whole number. So let's have a look at some examples from exercise 2. Let's start off with, we have first of all example number 1. We have 7 kilograms. We want to change that into grams. Okay, if you look at our identity over here, our fact, 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. We know to change kilograms into grams we have to multiply by 1,000, and that means moving 3 to the right. I don't have a decimal point, so could that be a problem? No, it shouldn't be a problem, because we know that in a whole number the decimal point lives at the end of the number. So that's the beginning of the number, that's the end of the number. The decimal point is here. In a whole number they don't need to write down a decimal point. They assume that you know that where it is, so it's here. We all know where it is. It's there at the end. Now we have to now time by 1,000, because we're going in this direction here. So this decimal point has to go 1, 2, 3 places, and this decimal point lands here. Okay. If you're doing this in square, in books with squares and grids in it, then you should be using, each number should be in one box, and each jump should take the space of one box. Now, what we do here again, the method is, once we move the decimal point 3 places forward, we need to copy the number down, 7. We've got a gap over here, that's for a 0. We've got a gap over here in the hump, that's a 0. We've got another gap over here, that's another 0. So this at the moment is our rough answer, 7,000 point. Now, if you got the number 7,000 point, if you got a number 7,000, we don't need to say the point at the end. Remember, the decimal point lives at the end anyway. In a whole number we don't need to pronounce it. So for the final answer, all the final answer is 7,000 grams. So that point, it lands at the end, but that's where the decimal point lives anyway in a whole number. So we don't need to have that in our final answer. So that's unnecessary. So our final answer is 7,000 grams. Let's go through that once again. We start with 7 kilograms. We've got to change it into grams. To change kilograms into grams, we have to multiply by 1000 because each kilogram has 1000 grams in it. When you multiply 1000, you have to get the decimal point and move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So we write down our working out over here. Now, the reason why I copied the 7 down again and done the working on the next line, because if I put the decimal point here, I got the kilograms in the way, everything would have been a bit tight and I would have crashed into the writing. So, copy the 7 down on a new line. Put the decimal point at the end of the whole number. Move 1, 2, 3 places to the right. Decimal point lands down over here. Okay, let's put that so you can see it. Decimal point landed there. The rule is copy the numbers directly below them, below the existing numbers. So under the 7, put the 7. Now you've got empty gaps here, or empty humps I call them. So those are filled with zeros. So 0 in the first one, 0 in the second one, 0 in the third one. So the number 7 becomes 7,000 point. And as we said, we don't need the point. We don't need to pronounce the point. We don't need to write the point at the end of a whole number. So the final answer is 7,000 grams. And that's the end of the first example. Okay. I'm going to go through some more examples from this exercise. So at any time, feel free to pause, copy down the notes, copy down this example before you go on to the next question, or you can watch the whole examples and then go through them one by one, press play, press pause. That's completely up to you. Now, when you're pressing play and press pause, you should be using a program called QuickTime and not Real Player. Even though your computer might be set up to use Real Player will not allow you to pause and rewind it, as some of my students have found out. So you must be on QuickTime Player or another equivalent player to that will allow you to have control. Because on QuickTime Player, you grab the bottom, the timeline, and you can move it literally forward and back, so you can see the lesson moving, and you can pause wherever you like. Okay, just a little note there. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next example, and I need to rub this one off because I need this space here because that's where the camera is focusing on. Okay. Example number 2. Okay, example number 2, I'm going to take a number with a decimal point in it. Question number 4. We have 2.34 kilograms. We've got to change that into grams. Okay. Now we do have a decimal point in this question, so let's see how that goes. Again, I'm going to copy this number down again underneath because I got kilograms, I got a line, and I know I'm going to move to the right. So I don't want to end up with my working out crashing into the rest of the question. So I'm going to copy it down onto a fresh line, 2.34. So let's have a look. Every time we do the question, we go back to the identity. 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. Go from kilograms to grams is time by 1000. Get the decimal point, which we have one. Nice. And move to the right 3 places. So let's go. Without any further waiting, grab the point. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we move 3 places forward. Copy the numbers down. Oops, missed out one thing. Decimal point lands on the next line. Remember, it's got to come straight down like that, as though it's just being dropped. The decimal point lands over here. Let's copy down the numbers underneath. So we have 2, 3, 4. Now remember, what do we do with the empty gaps, the empty humps? Well, the empty hump here, we must put a 0 in there. So we have now 2340 point. Okay. Now, this is our rough answer because we've got 2340 point. Now, the point at the end of this number, that's where the decimal point lives anyway, in the end of a whole number. So we don't need to say the point. And by actually saying the point, it sounds a bit daft. If you want to say the number 2340 to somebody, you wouldn't say, oh, I've got 2340 pound, or would you say 2340 point pounds? So the point here actually serves no purpose. So we need to get rid of it, because by leaving it in, it actually makes the number sound wrong and look wrong, even though mathematically it isn't. So that goes. So the final answer is 2340 grams. Okay. So if I go through this example one more time, we start off with 2.34 kilograms. we had to change into grams. We looked at our identity. 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. So if you go from kilograms to grams, you got to follow the blue arrow, time by 1000. When you time by 1000, we get the decimal point. We move it 3 places to the right. Here's the question, rewritten over here, so we've got room to do the working out. 1, 2, 3 jumps. Decimal point drops over here. What we do here is we have an empty gap here, or empty hump. We fill that with a 0. So our rough answer becomes 2340 point. But we don't need that point in our final answer, so the final answer becomes simply 2340 grams. Okay, that's the end of example number 2. So again, it's up to you. You can view the next example and then press pause and take the notes at the end. It's up to you how you want to do that. Right, let's go through another example. So we have here example number 3. Example number 3, we have, let's pick another question. Let's pick question number 8. Question number 8, we have 0.9 kilograms. And we need to change 0.9 kilograms into grams. Okay. So we look at our identity. 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 grams. We've got kilograms to grams, so we're going in the blue direction over here. So we have to time by 1000. Timing by 1000 means getting the decimal point, moving it 1, 2, 3 places to the right, because 1000 is made up of 3 tens. Okay, 10 times by 10 times by 10. Okay, now let's copy this question down again, otherwise I'll end up in the working out. 0.9. We don't need to put the kilograms down on the second line. Let's grab a hold of that decimal point which is here for us, so we don't need to put it in, it's already there. We go 1, 2, 3 places to the right. Okay, I've got 1 empty hump here, 1 empty hump there. Let's copy these numbers down. So we have 0, 9, and the empty humps there, we need to put in a 0 for each one. So we have a 0 here and a 0 here, and the decimal point lands there where the arrow is. That's where it gets dropped down. So our rough answer reads 0900 point. Well, if you want to say the number 900, you wouldn't need the 0 at the front and you wouldn't need the point at the end. So if the number is 900, then we just say that the number is 900 grams. Okay. So here, in this question here, we have to get rid of a 0 from the front, because in order to say the number 900, we don't need to say a 0 at the beginning. If you want to say 900 kilograms, you wouldn't say, oh, I've got note 900 or note 900 point kilograms. That just sounds daft as a final answer. That's our rough answer, but it's not our final answer. Final answer is nice and smoothly 900 grams. This is extra, that's unnecessary. We remove that and we'll give our final polished answer as 900 grams. That's the end of example number 3, and the rest of them follow similar format to the first example 1, 2 and 3. So what I would like you to do now is the opportunity to press pause and to go back. You want to watch these 3 examples again and then start copying each example down nice and neatly. Take enough space in your book and it should be set out like the way we've done it exactly on the board. And I want you to follow that style when you do the homework questions. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to write down some homework questions on the board next for you to, when you've copied the notes down, to pause on that, copy those questions out and do those questions. Then you can press play again, then you'll be able to see me go through the answers. So it'll be like a complete lesson on all the questions in that particular exercise, or the questions I'm going to give you for that exercise. Okay. Right, so we're going to be doing these are your homework questions. So your homework questions are going to be exercise 2, basic skills, page 75. It's question number 1. No, we're going to do, actually, did we do question number 1? No, we didn't. We done question. Yeah, we'll start with question number 1. Number 1 is 5 kilograms. And then we have question number 3 is 9 kilograms. And then after 9 kilograms, we have 9.16 kilograms. And then we have question number 7. Question number 7, we have 0.5 kilograms. And then question number 9 we put over here. Question number 9, we're going to have 0.4 kilograms. And then we're going to have question number 11. That's going to be 4.15 kilograms. Question number 13 is 25 kilograms. And then we're going to have question number 15 is 60 kilograms. And then we have question number 17, the last question. I want you to use 0.35 kilograms. Okay, so if you're looking at this page, at this part of the video now, this is the homework section. After listening to me talk about what's happening here, you need to press pause, because after the pause there'll be about 5-second delay before the answers start, and you should only watch the answers part of the video once you've copied these down, done the questions completely, and you're ready to check. So these are the homework questions. I want you now in a few seconds to press pause and copy them down. Then I will leave a few second pause in the video for then when you press play, then you can move on, and I will start going through the answers. So press pause now and copy the questions and do them. Okay. Okay, if you're looking at this part of the video now, you should be ready to mark your answers. So hopefully you've done all the questions in the homework, and this is the part where I go through the questions to show you what you should have got. So only watch this part of the video if you're ready to mark. No cheating. Okay, let's go. Question number 1 was the part of the homework, 5 kilograms. I'm going to try to do the working out a bit more slowly so I can get more on the board. So reduce the amount of rubbing out so you can see the questions as we develop. So I'm trying to squeeze number 1 in over here. We do number 3 over here, number 5 over here, and number 7 over here. Okay, number 1, here we come, 5 kilograms. So we have 5 kilograms, we've got to change it into grams. Kilograms to grams is time by 1,000, so we write down time by 1,000 on the top. Copy the 5 underneath. Put the decimal point at the end of a whole number. Move 1, 2, 3 places to the right as being written here in the method. So we have now 5. The decimal point lands over here. We copy down zeros 1, 2, 3 in the gaps. So our rough answer is 5,000 point. For the final answer is going to be 5,000 grams. Okay. Alright, let's just try to do this next one in a bit more colour. Question number 3, we have 9 kilograms. 9 kilograms, we've got to change that into grams. Okay. The more we do it, the questions, the more easy you'll find it. You'll find this whole thing nice and straightforward. Kilograms to grams is time by 1,000. We copied the number down underneath. Now, because it's a whole number, no decimal points. We've got to put 1 in at the end of the number. And we've got to move 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3. Drop the decimal point down. Now, in these empty humps here, put arrows there. We must put in 3 zeros to cover the 3 empty humps. Copy the 9 down again. So we've got 9,000 point. So our final answer is 9,000 grams. Okay, that's question number 3 done. Question number 5. I will go through this quite quickly. All you need to do is, if you find I'm going a bit through, you can watch them again, press pause, play them again. Question number 5 is 9.16 kilograms. So we have 9.16 kilograms. We've got to convert it to grams. Kilograms to grams is time by 1,000. Time by 1,000. Here we already got a decimal point in the question, which is nice because it's a decimal number. So we don't need to put 1 in ourselves. Here's the decimal point here. We go 1, 2, 3. Decimal point lands over here. We've got 1 empty hump over here where 0 goes in. We copy the numbers down. 916. So our rough answer says 9,160 point. So our final answer is 9,160 grams, and that one's done. Question number 7 is 0.5 kilograms. And we've got to change that into grams. Kilograms to grams is times by 1,000. Okay, once you start doing the question, you get into the flow. Decimal point's already here. Okay, so we copy this number down again underneath it and start the question. We grab the decimal point, so come here decimal. 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right, decimal point lands on the next line down here. We got one empty hump here and one empty hump here. That will give you a 0 and a 0 in those two places. We copy everything else down. Copy the 0 down, copy the 5 down. We look at that answer. That is our rough answer. It says 0,500 point, which is really simply 500 grams. The 0 at the front we don't need, and the point at the end we don't need. So that gives us. So here's the first 4 questions, all done. 5,000 grams, 9,000, 9,160, and 500. And you can go through those again by watching the video again. Okay, I'm gonna rub those out now. So if you want at any time, press pause. I'll rub them out and go to the next questions. Okay. Right, so let's have a look. Now, where have we got to? We've done 1, 5, 7, 9. We've got 11, 13, 15, 17 to do. Let's finish this homework off. 11, 13, 15, and 17. By the time you get to the end of this exercise, you should be an expert on this stuff. Okay, let's go. Number 11, 4.15 kilograms. 4.15 kilograms. We've got to change them into grams. If we change kilograms into grams, we have to time by 1,000. So let's write that down. This is our method. We're explaining to the teacher, the examiners, looking at our work, that we understand what we're talking about. So we copy the number down in the next line down, so we have more space to do our working out. We find the decimal point and move it 3 places to the right. Decimal point's right here. We go 1, 2, 3 to the right. Drop the decimal point down here. We've got an empty hump over here. We put a 0 there. That's the rule. Copy the rest of the numbers down. 4, 1, 5. So our rough answer says 4,150. Okay, it says 4,150 point, which is the same as 4,150 grams. Okay. Now, let's have a look at question number 13. Number 13 is 25 kilograms. So we have 25 kilograms. We're changing those into grams. Okay, so we have 25. We copy down the next line. Now, look at this question. We don't have a decimal point because the method relies on getting the decimal point and moving it to the right. Why does it have a decimal point? It's a whole number. The decimal point lives at the end of a whole number right here. So we put it in ourselves. We know it's there. Let's put it in and let's get on with it. Let's grab the decimal point. Because if you multiply by 1,000, we have to move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So now we have 1, 2, 3 gaps. 3 empty, put in 3 zeros. Decimal point lands here. We copy the rest of the number down. So at the moment, the question answer reads so far, the rough answer, 25,000 point, which is simply 25,000 grams. Question number 15, we have 60 kilograms. I'm going to change them to grams. Kilograms to grams is times by 1,000. When you time by 1,000, let's copy the number down. We need to get the decimal point, which is at the end of this whole number here. We've got to put it in because they haven't given us, but we know it's there. It lives at the end. We've got 1, 2, 3 to the right. We've got 3 empty gaps. So 3 zeros. Decimal point lands there. Copy down the 60. So now we've got 60,000 point, which is really 60,000 grams. That's done. Last but not least, number 17, we have 0.35 kilograms, and we've got to change that into grams. If we're changing kilograms into grams, we time by 1,000. So right over here, time by 1,000. When we time by 1,000, we've got to move the decimal point 3 places to the right. So you grab the decimal point, it's already there, it's the decimal number. So we go 1, 2, 3. Decimal point lands here. Empty hump here, put a 0 in there. Let's copy the rest of the numbers down. 0, 3, 5, 0 point. Well, actually that's 0,350 point. So we don't need that. We don't need that. So the final answer is 350 grams. That's the end of the homework recap and the end of this lesson. I hope you have learned today how to change kilograms into grams, and you've mastered it as well. And you hopefully, when you come back and revise as well, you'll find it will be more easier sticking in your head. When you come to do this in an exam, you'll be flying through this in the exam. Okay? I've enjoyed today's lesson. I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson, and you'll come back to one-to-one-tutor.co.uk, to the home of mathematics, to have another lesson with me, your favorite tutor, Imran, one-to-one tutor. Okay, bye. Have fun.